What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance. We don't have our microphone. I know, the crime. The crime. I apologize always. But anyways, I want to do this. I just came from the gym, so I'm wearing crazy clothes. I had to wipe the sweat off my head. I don't want y'all judging me, because y'all claim I judge everybody. But hit your drop your CD state in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Also, listen. You see the title: Investing, Business, Credit, that internet, YouTube, Instagram hype. There's something about our lovely social media, right? Um, Most people, and this is in life and this is in general, are looking for the easy. What is the easiest way I can get in the dough? What's the easiest way I can get me some real estate, Erica? What's the easiest way I can get into tech, Erica? What's the easiest way I can start a business and get $50,000 credit without any requirements, right? And so the past couple of days when I've been talking to you guys about service and service businesses and credit and why I'm partnering is because majority of people are doing all these super creative financing, creative ways to hustle because of lack of funds, because of lack of money, because of lack of credit, right? Um, and many people say, well, no, it's because they lack discipline, they lack it. No, it's just lack of money, right? So part of why I want to do this is because the top three ways for the past 200 years that has been America, honestly, 300 years, has been stocks, business, real estate. And if you come on this internet, people be like, "Oh no, that's fake, man. It's you gotta have a job, man. You gotta have a job." Now, I will give you a little tip to hack, right? 95% of the banks, when I'm on the phone with y'all, I tell y'all the truth. I tell y'all in the training and the funding courses and the bundles and the live trainings, 95% of banks love workers. They love if you have a job. They love if you have a high paying job. They love if you have a job. Why? Because it fits into the mold of the box of job, qualified, cool, paycheck coming, direct deposit coming. I literally had a client show me where she got declined at Navy Federal because she didn't have direct deposit. They were just like, we don't know where you come from. Like, girl done had a job for years, got the pay stubs, got the does her taxes and everything, but she doesn't have direct deposit. And they literally put that on the paper when they sent it to her. You don't have direct deposit. That's one of our concerns. Navy Federal, okay? So don't always believe the Navy Federal hype. That's for one. But for two, 99% of the time, these banks just want you to have a job. They can kind of just put you in a category, in a box. They can check off these boxes and keep it moving. All right. And so what happens is the more I talk to people, they're trying to figure out how to get around the paperwork. How do I get around doing something? Erica, tell me the shortcut. Tell me the shortcut. And so we have a YouTube and an Instagram that is nonstop every day built around how do I get the shortcut? How do I get there in 30 days? How do I in 2 weeks? How do I do this in a month? And the fact remains is, yes, can you grab your pickup truck with a lawnmower and go knock doors this week and make $1,000 in Texas? Yeah, you're gonna be knocking doors and you're gonna be cutting grass every daggone day till you make it, right? Uh, is there a smarter, quicker, faster way to do that? For sure, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it's not possible. It's possible, right? It's possible, but there is systems and templates in place to help a lot of people. A lot of people struggle because they want to find the shortcut, and while they're spending years, and I'll give credit to Lisa Phillips because she said this, and I'm not taking it from her. She was the first person that talked about $30,000 homes and investing in under 50K homes on bigger pockets. And let's be honest, the white dudes on there walked her like a dog about it, talking terribly for 2 years. At the end of the 2 years, it became popular. So then they started talking about it and made lots of money talking about investing in Cleveland, Detroit, the hoods of America, while we're on the other end talking about wholesaling properties and giving stuff away, right? So I bring that up to say sometimes you may be right, but you may be early in being right. Right. So something Lisa Phillips says is people contact her all the time asking, how can I make an extra $1,000 a month from real estate? I've been reading blogs for years. I've been watching hundreds of YouTube videos. I've been doing all this stuff trying to find a way to make the extra $1,000 a month in real estate. I'm just trying to find a way to get extra $1,000 a month. Right. And what she ended up saying in uh her response is, all these years you've been looking and doing that, you could have got a part-time job at Home Depot or Lowe's and made that extra 1,000 a month. Right? It's the simple answer, but nobody wants the simple answer. They want the Ericka, tell me how to get 50 to 150,000 in credit and business credit cards this month. And here's the truth. If you're not starting a business, if you're not doing something that's going to bring in reoccurring income, you're going to be these same people online asking, how can I pay these cards back? Hey, baby, same way you're going to have to. You got to work. Now, part of the problem is it makes business seem like this little thing. Oh, yeah, you have a business? Oh, okay, whatever. Right? Because you spent all day looking on Instagram hype machine, looking on YouTube hype machine of people who have businesses, right? Who are showing you their vacations, showing you their car, showing you their lifestyle, not the work part, right? Even right now, Grant Cardone has a millionaire employee program. What is that about? Let's be really honest. Let's be really clear. It's about, if you make a lot of money at work or you're in sales, taking a piece of that money and investing it. Let me be very clear. When people talk about investing in apartments to get in those syndication deals, it's $50,000. That's the minimum. When somebody starts talking to me about 20 and 30, I'm like, is that in the hood? Where did that? Where did that? This is a problem. This is a problem property. The more creative we have to get with the funding and the financing, it's a problem. I promise you, 10 years in the game, I promise you, I'm telling you something to save you a headache. Now, can you make money off problem properties? For sure. People have been doing it forever. But if you listen to Grant Cardone, you listen to several of these people talk about, hey, you could be a millionaire employee. In order to be a millionaire employee, y'all, you have to be making over $150,000 a year. Let me not drag this out. Let me not lie to you. You need to be making $150K a year. Why? Because then you could take that extra $50K out of your year and do what? Invest in apartments. Now that $150K you put in as a limited partner, you might get $1,000 a month check until they cash out refi in 3 to 5 years, or value added. You may get that good little extra $1,000. That's not, you're like, oh, okay. I could have bought one house and did that, right? But that's the hype, right? Like, oh man, I'm gonna take this $50K and do that. Now, the reason it works, the millionaire employee program, and the way the marketing works for a lot of syndications, is they're talking to people who have high income jobs and sometimes highly stressful jobs. So they rather just say, here, take my 50, send me $1,000 a month. And when you have another deal and I save up another 50, I'm all in. Right? So you just saw, I don't know if you ever watched Income Report and a couple other places. They were showing a guy in Colorado and he just dressed like a normal person. And this is why the comments were hilarious to me. He's dressed like a regular, just t-shirt, jeans, sneakers guy. New Balances on, in fact, which I love New Balances. And he was like, she's like, well, what do you make a year? Like 90,000? He laughed. He said, higher. And she's like, 125? He's like, no, higher. So she keeps saying it. And he's like, no, 245 a year. 245,000 a year. And people in the comments are like, well, his taxes are going to be so high. He's only going to take home 190. He's only going to do, baby. If 75 million working Americans make 30K 500 a year or less, you making 245. Let's just say you work that job for 5 years. That's it. You hate it. You hate being in tech. You only want to be there 5 years. You work that job for 5 years and you pull off just 100 a year and invest in something every year. Year 5, you can go do whatever you like. Year 5, literally, I'm meeting people who do tech. They pay off the car. They pay off their house. What do I do next? I have friends literally here in Austin who were so worried about the recession, they paid off their houses, y'all. They bought the house when it was 140 in Austin. In Austin, the equity they moved up, that their house is now worth 400,000, but they're afraid because they're, rule followers. And so they're like paying their houses off. When you have a certain amount of income, the conversations are different, right? Exactly, Sherry. You can be $1 million salesperson depending on what you're selling in the compensation package. Exactly. And people hate sales. Oh, I hate sales. I don't want to sell. And I just laugh. I go, every business has a fulfillment and sales department. Every business in America, no matter who you are, even when you're on Instagram, these people have a sales and fulfillment department. What do I mean? Uh, there's a lady, Chrissy Too Real. She's hilarious, but every post she posts on Instagram is her selling or selling something, right? So companies are just paying her. I mean, literally every day she posts some product, holds it up, tells a joke, and I literally put it on all her posts, even if they're inappropriate. I go, girl, you're the best salesman in America. You should be a tech salesman. I say that under her post every time. I go find her page when I forget about her or Instagram doesn't show me 24. I go back on there and go, you are one of the best salesmen in the world. I just say it to her because it's true. And when people say, well, you got to own a business to be a millionaire, you got to do this to do that. Like, even if you own a business, you have clients, y'all. You have clients. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have clients. And so when I talk about um, investing, can you invest with very little money? Can you get a no money down home? Can you do these little techniques to get you in a duplex and a fourplex? For sure, America's been like that forever, right? Like we that's the beauty of America. You can get a little something, you know what I'm saying? And the reason I talk so boldly and forcefully about building real estate is we've just seen the past 5 years all these Black people sell every single empty lot, abandoned house, rough place in the hood to others. We've seen it. And when you ask people, why don't you just hold the land and sell it for a higher price? Again, in Philly, it was a lawsuit. Two brothers were the last of, mom died. It's an empty, vacant land lot. They ain't been in Philly. They both live somewhere else outside of Philly. They don't care. And the guy paid them like 40K for it. I think it was like 30K. And the brothers, of course, had to split the 30K, right? And then he turned around and sold it for like 300,000. It was a great corner lot in Philly. Now, here's the issue. That's on them brothers for not researching Philly anymore. That's on them brothers for not thinking our mom left us a corner lot. The city tore the house down. What can we do with it? That's on them. To say wholesaling is bad, to say land flipping is bad, to say, that's terrible what that guy did. They had the same opportunity to come and make a bunch of money by just calling a realtor and getting a sign put in the yard and selling the land for what it really was worth. That's it. It really comes down to that. Now, why do I bring up that story? Why do I bring up that reason? Right? One, people really don't realize when they're touching gold. They just don't, right? And another reason is I posted a video in the community wall. And again, I read the comments. There's a ton of channels out there making like 30, 40, 50K a month showing people cutting grass. Now, if you don't understand about relaxation videos, the best way I can explain it to you is I watch cow hoof trimming videos. For my friends watch the feet manicuring videos. It's just things that are like a veg out video. They're just emotionally good. Oh, okay, cool. I can watch this. It's like watching kittens and cats and stuff like that, laugh and joke and go about their day, right? And children play, right? It's just very, okay, cool. I watched that. That's good. There was a Black man who's going around Florida and he's cutting grass. And people will be like, well, if you don't understand Florida grass, it grows so tough. Oh, it grows so fast. Nah, 9 times out of 10, when you see these people videos, they'll ask them on camera, well, I'm getting fined by the city, like $275. I'm getting all this stuff happening. So instead of going out for 20 minutes on a Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to go push the lawnmower around just a little bit, or at least around the front yard so the city don't hit me with $275. People in the comments will be like, thank you for helping that single mom. The single mom got 3 people, 3 children, and they not little. They like 8, 9, 10. You push a lawnmower for 20 minutes. You tired. Hey, little Jerome, come on. Let me show you how to push this lawnmower for 20 minutes. They're young. And it just be part of your routine. Now, in the video, the woman did say she worked 2 jobs, but I'm like, this is the mindset. Oh, I got the house now, I can just chill. No, it's something that will need repairs. It was something they upkeep. What ends up happening to a lot of these people who own a house and the yard looks like that, the inside of the house ain't much better. No matter what they tell you, the inside of the house looking crazy. Is looking terrible. And these are the people that end up selling at a discount to wholesalers, and they just give up. Or if the mom has one accident and she's working 2 jobs, well, now is the house in jeopardy? Right? Is she going to be able to be in a position financially to take a cash out refinance on a house if it goes up in value? Do you see what I'm saying? Again, if this person's not even doing for months, and they say in the video, for months, I haven't even cut my own grass. Right? So much so the guy cutting grass is like, oh my God, there's a sidewalk here. There's pavement here. As he's doing the video. This is where the hype meets real reality, right? Why are so many people renters? They don't want the responsibility. They don't want to cut grass. They don't want to fix repairs. They just don't want to do. I just want to go to work, come home and watch TV and veg out. That's what people really be wanting to do. So when you come on the internet and you tell them, hey man, it's really easy to start a business. You just get this piece of paper and get a bank account and you start doing sales and then you do fulfillment. Ericka, you a liar. It's all a scam. This is hype. No way. This is bullshit. You get all these reactions because people really just want to show up and get a paycheck, right? And in my what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're just gonna show up and get a paycheck, at least I'm talking about show up and get 150. I'm talking about show up and get 250. I'm talking about show up and get 90,000 a year. Don't just show up and get 30 and then complain about it every day, right? That's my biggest push to you guys when I bring on Tech Tuesday for the past 3 years. Is like, if you're gonna just go to work anyways, like most people do, 90% of our population, at least be paid well for it. That's why when you're in Austin, you see all these women stay home from work. They're like, oh my God, what does her husband do? Like if your husband's making 150 every year and you living in Austin and y'all bought your house early, $200,000-$300,000 house, your mortgage isn't crazy. It's maybe 2K, 2,700, maybe 2,500. I mean, depends on your interest rate, but maybe your house is 2,500, right? Your mortgage may be a little bit less. I mean, I remember my friend bought hers for 290. Her mortgage was like 1,900. So you got $1,900 mortgage. Your husband's making 150 a year. You got kids. You're getting a tax write-off. Maybe you're putting some of the money in your stock market. You're getting write-offs. You're on easy street. The reason we have such a community complaining about who's going to pay bills and 50-50 is no one wants the responsibility or sacrifice to step up and really make the money. That's the truth. If you got a man and he's like, well, we doing all right. We doing okay. We doing better than most. We should just eat less. We should do less stuff. That person has told you, I'm not willing to sacrifice. I'm not willing to put the time in. I'm not willing to grow the income so that our family can live on easy street. And in a few years, we can do whatever we like. If y'all heard how many phone calls I've had over the past 6 years of men calling and saying, Ericka, my wife is staying home with the baby. I didn't plan for that. I'd be like, and you calling me? Time is now. Time is now for you to figure out what that looks like, because we're here now. We in the shit. Okay. Like, by the time you call me now, I'm trying to help you figure out a plan for the next 6 months. What can we cut? What can we increase? Can you ask for a raise at work? Can you apply for a different job? You know what I'm saying? That's at that point. But I've had hundreds of those calls, and I would have never believed it. I just thought when people are adults, you get married, yeah, your wife gonna stay home for a while. Nobody told you? Oh man, nobody told me. Right? And so the hype of the internet is everybody's living easy. It's easy to do. These are easy things to do. And a word you hear a lot on the internet is creative financing. Let me be very clear. The better your credit is, the better your cash flow is, the better your job income is, the less creative you have to be. Right? Creative financing is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's great. But if you got to spend day and night trying to jump through hoops and hula hoop and flip and jump rope to figure out a deal, baby, that's not really a good deal. Right? All that work you spend on that deal, you might as well work on an apartment complex. You know what I'm saying? And so part of why you see right here on the screen, I've been having on the screen, I'm gonna have it up for the rest of the week, and it's gonna be in the comment section. Text ready or trade lines. We have so many emails from people who are like, Ericka, do you know a credit repair company? Do you know this company? Who can I call? Who can I trust? Listen, we're working on a big deal. If we get 100, 200 people, hey, give these people this type of deal. Here they go. Reach out to them, call them, da da da. Right? May 1st. So ready is for people who are under 650. They credit got blemishes. They know they need the help. They ain't gonna do it. No matter if they watch 100 YouTube videos, they're not gonna put out no letters. They're not gonna try to chase stuff. They're not gonna try to chase it. Diamond Dave did a great video talking about how people basically have to be a full-time job fighting and defending their credit, right? And most people don't want to do that. They want to work, come home, eat dinner, and look at their kids for a few hours. Okay. So text ready if that's you to that number, 512-348-2192. And if you're like, nah, Ericka, I'm over 650, I just want to be bumped up to 700 and some change because one, I just want to get access to business credit cards, access to business capital, access to lines of credit and personal loans, so I can use that money and go live well. Because I promise you, and I'm telling you, and I have no guarantees, let's be very clear enough. But when you got an extra 50K on a couple cards or extra 50K in a working line of capital at a bank or a personal loan, the bank's like, here's 50K or here's prosperous and here you can have 40K because you have good income, good credit. You going to look at a house around the corner and it just be 20K down and maybe a little bit of kitchen cleanup. That's not even complicated. It doesn't become complicated. It's like, oh, that's easy to do, right? When I was talking to one of the truckers in a consult call and he was like, oh yeah, I just paid Irene, to just go ahead and put it all together. I paid her 10K. She put the website together. She put all this together. All he needs to do now is just have a little location, pay one or two girls to work the front, do the taxes, do the info and the fulfillment, basically do fulfillment, right? And he would have a $500,000 business. Like I literally told him, I'm like, do you understand what you just purchased for 10K? That was just extra money in your pocket. You literally could have a tax office. Rent for the tax office would be like $1,500 a month. The staff payroll, maybe 3K each girl. You're talking about what, 6K, right? Now you're talking about maybe 7 to 9 a month in expenses. But for the tax season, that's like mostly 4 months. You literally could rack up $500,000. If you really market it right, $1 million. Because people need what? They need to know how to do their taxes, right? That's one. Two, they don't want to be liable. That's the best way to say it, right? Because if you're liable, right? If they're liable, then they can't say to the government how they were listening on YouTube for some kind of tax tip and did it themselves, right? And the way that the country is going, they're going to make it so that it's so difficult when you turn in your taxes. Oh no, it's a problem. Every time you're going to start seeing more tax professionals and more CPAs and a lot of accountants. And I'm just telling you this as a person who's reading the articles and listening to what the government is telling you. Oh, we get 80,000 agents to do a lot of auditing because there's a lot of money leakage, right? So America's basically telling you in advance, hey, we about to look through everybody's because y'all can't be making this little money. There's got to be some more money out here for us to tax you. So what does this all mean? What does this all go through? When you make more money, you can have more options, right? Let's say, Ericka, I don't make a ton of money. I just started this LLC, or I'm just 19, 20, 21, 22, and I got 100K in credit cards because my credit file's thin. Well, now you can spend that time, one, investing in yourself to educate yourself. What's my best skills, my best talent, and what's the best thing for me to invest in? Right? So is the internet hyping business? Is it hyping starting a business? Is it hyping real estate investing? Is it hyping stock market investing? To some degree, yes, but it follows the nature of people. When people say, Ericka, should I buy Terry's stock class? I go, do you know yourself? Are you upset when you spend $6? Right? Are you a warrior? You know what I'm saying? I be telling people, don't gamble, right? If you gonna be homeless tomorrow because you gambled $50, then you need to not do it, and you need to increase your skill. All right. So that's really where a lot of it goes. Now I'm going to go over a list of service businesses that when somebody asked me the other day, well, what's a list of template businesses and service business? I didn't think you were saying it in a salty way. It just was not correlating in the video at the time, but I did remember it and I was going to bring it up. Okay. But let me look at these comments real quick and then I'll go ahead and bring it up. The normal salary in tech sales as an AE, you're making 200 to 500K a year. Black Heights is doing 40K. K Diggity, Black Heights did 1.5 million last year. He told it on the Anthony O'Neill. Is it O'Neill? I think it's Anthony O'Neill show. AO show. He 1.5. So you know what I'm saying? Like life changing. Like life changing. Even if your taxes are crazy, life changing. What could you do with 400K right now? Life changing. And all you have to do is what? Sales techniques, calling people, following up people, being knowledgeable about the product you sell. Hello. Hello. I love the fact I work remotely from home. Okay, Caesar. Philly deal is just business. Yeah, Sherry is crazy. My friends do 350 to 400K. They've been doing it for 5 to 10 years. I'm in the lower 200K because I'm newer in the industry. Caesar Max, this is what I tell people. And think about it. If you've been making 50 for years, and you got a car loan, you got some student loan debt, you got, your neck is like this with the bills, and you start making 150, 200K a year. If you can control yourself, this is the key part of that. If you can discipline yourself for 1 to 2 years, you just cleared off all your damn debt. You're done. You're done. You're at FU money stage. You're at I can move around and do any job I want. That's why you see so many people going, oh, I'm gonna be in Colombia for a few months, or I'm gonna go here for a few months. One, the tech companies really don't want to lose you because you have a valuable skill. And two, how can you tell somebody no who done paid off all their debt? Right? It's the guys I meet that are in their 50s and 40s, and they got the boats and the trucks and the ridiculous house. They're like, I gotta keep working, Ericka. And I'm like, cool. How much longer? What happens when you stop working? What happens when you have a stroke? What happens if you break an ankle? What happens if your thigh hurts? What happens if your sciatic nerve go out? You have to have a contingency plan for what the future looks like. Just don't go there. And that's hard to do when you make $30,000 to $50,000 a year. Just gonna say that. Oh, you love the carpet cleaning video? Yeah, like these videos. To be honest, I know a guy right now who booked a call. He's making $40,000 a month off cutting grass, and so his wife is upset because he literally cuts maybe 2-3 grasses the first week of the month, and then he's editing himself because a lot of these guys that they don't know somebody, they're just trying to like try new things, and so he's taking so much time editing himself. He releases these videos. They're making 300,000, 400,000 views. And then he's like, Ericka, but my subscribers didn't move up. I go, well, who cares? Did YouTube pay you? Yeah, it did. Who cares about subscribers? That whole, I need subscribers. Let it go. If you're getting 40K a month from YouTube, and I mean, there was years ago, O'Shea Duke Jackson was getting 40K. And I know he's probably at the at 70K mark a month now. If you making that kind of money, you have to explain to your wife, stop expecting me to be the grass cutting guy anymore. Where I'm out every day hustling, cutting grass every day because I have to, and I have to do it because I have to make money for this family. I'm switching to a different lane. I still have that skill. I still have the lawnmower equipment. I have all the stuff. Look at this thing that made us 40K a month. And what happens is a lot of times I get on these phones, people are like, well, it's going to stop. What if it changes next month? What if the algorithm stops pushing your videos? What if this happens? People like watching carpet cleaning videos, grass cutting videos. We like looking at people's house and being like, why they grass like that? Do you know what I'm saying? Now, as a person who knows a person who owns a wholesaling company, he'd be like, I hate they cut them people grass because those are the people I'm going to call. You know what I mean? Those people I'm going to take a message and call because they either can't afford their home or something's going on, right? It's just a symptom. So that's just that 2 cents. So it's you that got these hoof. Listen, Steve, watch the hoof trimming videos. They're amazing. I mean, literally, one of the hoof trimming guys that started with the Irish accent, literally millions. I mean, he bought this equipment that was like $300,000, and everybody's like, "Oh, we love the new equipment." I'm like, y'all don't realize how much this new equipment costs. That's why you don't know he's making so much money. And this is the power of the videos, right? Like when people say, Ericka, why do you keep doing YouTube stuff? I'm like, if you actually knew, it's not, there's 2 levels. The guys that are getting paid from the views and congratulations, you hit the lottery. You getting paid for talking negative about real estate, negative about the economy. Congratulations. You're paid. Is that a business? It's tough. It's tough. Because now you got to figure out how to stay in that algorithm. and keep getting paid. Okay. So use that money wisely. Now there's this other side of YouTube where we're going to send traffic off the platform. They don't like that. We're going to make income from the platform. And not necessarily for all YouTube rules. They don't like that. You have some of these YouTubers we know starting separate private streams, websites, because you know why? Because YouTube punishes you for saying certain things. So these guys have private streams, and people are paying $10 a month to be a part of the private streams. Now, if you got 400 people paying $10 a month, that's $4,000. You got 1,000 people paying $10 a month. That's $10,000. That's a business, right? That's different. Rush Limbaugh and all these people made a lot of money talking unpopular topics. Why? It's a thing, right? All these gun channels that been demonetized, still getting hundreds of thousands of views because no matter what YouTube wants, YouTube may force weird makeup, alternative living videos in your face all day. People come on YouTube and be like, show me some guns. Show me some children. Show me some fun things. Show me church videos. Show me Christian music, right? YouTube can't stop that, right? That's the nature of this country. They can't stop it, right? Those guys in those videos, they'll have 20 affiliate links under their video. They're doing events right now. Mike Glover has an event. I think it's $2,000, and it's already sold out. It's like 50 dudes at it. He does an event every month. He has staff. So if every month 100,000 just from that's one 3-day weekend event. He does about 2 events a month. So you do the math. That's 200K, both those events, and then you're doing it every month. So just off events, off of military training, off of gun training, like do the math, okay, right? So the hype is, I understand people hyping things a certain way on YouTube because they're trying to make money, right? What's up, Sherry Gorman? Thank you for the love from Detroit. Woo! Detroit be beating my legs. Working on my first home now. I'm planning to sell in 3 years. Congratulations, MR. Sometimes it's better to wholesale than creative finance. Yeah, Sherry, here's the thing, Sherry. Wholesaling and land flipping is a straight up business, right? If you get 100 contracts and you got 100 different notes where people are paying you money for land all over the United States, you're good. You have a cash flowing business, and a lot of times what people don't understand is you're going to have to do some type of service, right? People are trying to figure out how they can make money without having to talk to people, serve people, do any work. And I'm like, you got to get over that. You got to let that go. You can go get a job and work the night shift and don't have to talk to people. Good luck. Good luck. So let me keep reading real quick and get a Ericka, keep delivering these informative and great action videos. Thank you, Kiera Hodge, NC Realtor, one of the best realtors in Fayetteville, North Carolina. When I go out there and build my 8-plex in North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina, that's going to be the lady I use to find my land. She's well connected. If you're looking for investments in Fayetteville, North Carolina, military town, good returns, give Kiera Hodge a call. Kiera, you can put your phone number in the chat. I don't care. I'm cool with that. Tam, creating holding companies is taking off. That, yes, I've seen 4 or 5 people who are like, oh, I got a holding company. I'm like, oh, really? Talk to me more about it, right? Same thing with family offices. You're starting to see an increase of family offices. And when you start talking to them, oh, you own 20 of these. 20 car washes. Oh, 20 laundromats. Interesting. The game is so many levels that when sometimes I listen to people's content on YouTube, I laugh because I've spent thousands of dollars to be in particular rooms, and I know certain numbers. I know why people are speaking at a lot of conferences this year, right? The course money dried up, but the in-person money did not, right? Coalfield Advisor just Duke Taxes that did amazing the past year. Amazing. I mean, the dude went viral, right? He spent $25,000 and gave it to Ko-Fi Advisors. The dude came out and spent the day with him, I guess, in Houston, right? He's living in Columbia. Let's just say you had 2 of those a month, where people are paying you $25,000. You have to fly back to America from Colombia and spend the day with them, getting all their advertising and viral techniques straight. You think you okay? You think you're doing $50K a month and you back in Colombia in $1,000 apartment? I mean, I want y'all to do the math on this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to understand why there's such a push for business conversation, because we're a little late to the party, but when we really figure it out, it don't take but 2 to 5 years to really start investing and being well. And the reason I'm saying this is we have, and again, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again, there is a agenda for us to be distracted while the biggest wealth transfer in our time is happening. If you knew how many Black people I met here right here in Austin, who are from here, don't own property, and I'm like, yeah, they pushing us out. Did you not see the past 10 years? You telling me you didn't have no property? And I've met a couple who like, man, I'm so glad I bought early. Yeah, because you can walk away with 200, 300,000 in equity right now. Even as we're like, people are like, it's crashing in Austin. Okay, some people can't sell houses for 500,000. They're selling for 405. They lost 100K, but really they bought the house for 150 5 years ago. They're not losing. That's the comedy of this. Like, Austin's crashing. No, it's not. It's adjusting, but it's definitely not crashing. Bookkeeping on cannabis businesses. Hoof videos, like, oh, listen, I can't watch Papa Pimper. It's just, I can't, but I can watch the hoof trimming. Tune Tuesday, we'll be going over quant research. Okay, cool. Hoof trimming are awesome. They really are. People don't want to hear about it. There's 180 of you in here. Hit the like button. Let me go ahead and go over these businesses so I can wrap this up and get out of these wet clothes. Service businesses. You're going to hear more conversation, especially in our community and in our, let's just go there. Earn Your Leisure, a lot of these different people. You're going to hear a lot more conversation about service businesses. And the ones I mean are group homes, boarding houses, assisted living, wholesaling, land flipping, credit repair, and business credit. Why are you going to hear more about those? Because what happened is you had people who spent the pandemic not paying bills, not paying rent, cutting up, not paying for cars. And now repo man's out. And now they coming to collect. And now cities are filling up with eviction. And now people are like, oh, no. We're going to get it all back in blood. Okay. And so you're going to see a lot more credit repair. People, again, go watch Diamond Day video. He did a great video about it. The way these people are putting things on your credit reports without any verification, like nobody's calling you and be like, hey, is this accurate? No, they're just like, I looked on the internet and this other. I'm just give you this like this. There's 18 credit reporting sites. The three we know about and talk about the most: TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. Now you're starting to hear people talk about Innovos more, and CoreLogic, and StreamLogic, and a couple other ones, right? But so imagine there's 18 companies out there, the big dogs, who are collecting data at all times. Some of the data might be right, some of it might be wrong. Nobody's calling you to verify, right? And so there's going to have to be this push and this fight to fight for your personal information. Why is this important? Most people who have bad credit don't care. Who knows? I don't care. Just wreck it. I don't care. They go to car dealerships. The car dealership shotguns their credit report out 64 times. They don't care as long as they got their car, they Dodge Charger, they Hellcat. They don't care. It's now when they need to make other life decisions. Oh, I'm having a baby. Oh, I need a new job. Oh, I have to get this military clearance. Oh, I have to get a security clearance. And I can't because my credit is screaming. Now that's why that's important. Again, people make things important at certain times. And I'm to be very honest with you. I know people right now who only thing they care about is getting their credit cleaned up to buy a house, and then they don't care because their car's paid off. You know what I'm saying? They're straight. Why are you hearing land flipping and wholesaling more? You have a lot of older people who own land in places they ain't never moving back to. When we were in Panama, there were several people who had owned land for 10, 15, 20 years. They hadn't been back. They bought it, never went back. Just imagine that. Coming from America, bought it, ain't been back in 20 years. And people like, hey man, we getting ready to take this over, right? They having to fight with locals and the neighbors to keep their property. In America, you can have an empty land lot right beside your house. Right beside your house. And it can sit there for 20 years. Now you may park your car over there. You may have a barbecue and your cousins park in the lot, but you don't ever take over the lot and start building on it. America has some rules. And so that's why land flipping and wholesaling in America is so popular, because somebody owns it. We got to find out who. If you don't find out who, and the government taxes can't get paid, the city gonna sell it, and they can sell it to whoever they want. That's why wholesaling and land flipping will still be popular for years to come. We have a older population for years to come. Right? Assisted living. Why is assisted living so popular? I went home in Fayetteville and I saw all these assisted living places. I said, "Good gracious!" I stopped at 2. They full. There is no room. What are you talking about, ma'am? There's a wait list. I said, "Well, damn, I didn't know. I'm just asking questions. Do you have a loved one that need help? No, I'm just trying to find out. Just trying to ask questions." I'm running into people from Classy Climbers and other people out of Dallas and Houston, owning group homes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Tons of group homes. They need places for these people to go. Again, now what do I mean, people? You have a stroke, you have a heart attack, you having issues, you having healthcare stuff. You're gonna need somewhere to go. Even if the city's like, hey, well, the government says, hey, we're gonna send him a disability check and a healthcare check, and the military's paying him a pension. Where is he going? He don't got no family, and I'm just gonna go there. A lot of men don't. At certain ages, they just don't. I don't know what happened. Life happens, divorce happens, kids and grandkids ain't there. They go to these group homes. They go in these assisted living facilities. We have a family member who was in New York for years. I'm talking about over 50 years of his life. Guess what happened? He went blind. He had a high blood pressure, kind of like weird stroke thing happen. He's blind and deaf in one ear. So guess what had to happen? He had to call us and say, I can no longer stay in New York. They're trying to put me in a home because I can't see, and 2, my hearing's bad. Can I come back to North Carolina? Comes back to North Carolina. Our family puts him in a nice assisted living facility, but really it's an independent apartment because the old boy still tries to cook his own food, which is a whole other conversation. He needs that apartment. He's blind. He's half deaf. He couldn't stay in New York. New York is what? Loud. Very confusing walking, even when you got all your senses, okay? Unless you're in the suburbs, right? And so these people will have to go somewhere. These people will have to have lived somewhere. So all these houses that are what we would call zombie houses, falling apart, decaying, a lot of these stuff is going to get demoed. New construction will have to come in its place. If you're a smart person, leaning forward person, if you're paying attention, you will make sure your son or daughter knows how to either 1, build a house, 2, buy land, buy a home. That's probably 4. 4, fix things. If you know how many people I talk to who have no clue. I went on YouTube and I couldn't fix it, Ericka. Right? That's a real thing. Right? So again, assisted living, boarding houses. Why boarding houses? People can't afford the rent. They don't want to live. They don't want to live in a van. They don't want to be old man down by the river. Right? So you're going to see boarding houses. You see a lot of them in Cleveland. You see a lot of them in Detroit. It's a smart thing to keep the homeless out of the cold in Cleveland and Detroit and New York by sending these people, I hate to keep saying it that way, it sounds terrible, sending these people to a boarding house. Hey, we're going to give you $700 a month to take care of this guy. Here's a check. Now, all that boarding house has to do what? Make sure you got a bed, place to wash your butt, and some food in the refrigerator. As long as they got to make sure you take medication and other stuff, that's not really their job. So boarding houses have always existed. They're going to continue to exist. If you look at some of those older movies, it'll literally say boarding house for single men, no children. Or it'll say for women and children, orphanages for children. Some of that stuff going to come back and really come back hard. And I don't think y'all understand. We have a population people don't want to be responsible. So where these kids gonna go, right? This girl put a post up and I laughed, but then I thought about it. She was like, I wish I would be a single mom raising my son and he'd get up at 23 years old and get on a microphone on a podcast and say the worst thing that ever happened is he was raised by a single mom, and single mom are the worst people on earth. She's like, honey, if that man leaves you, leave them babies at the orphanage. I was like, I laughed, but then I was like, that's terrible. But that's coming back. Our family owned group homes in North Carolina. We had people dropping off 8-year-old children because they were not listening. Can you imagine that? A woman dropping off her 8-year-old son because he's not listening to her and he's being hard-headed and out of control. She just can't handle it. Where the hell is your family? Where the hell is your extended family? Where's his father? Right? Your first result was to drop this kid off into the system of group homes where he's gonna have to live here for the next 10 years into the system. Oh my God. And she did it voluntarily, like dropped him voluntarily. And so you have this mentality of nobody wants to be responsible. Nobody wants to learn the skills in a trade. Somebody's going to have to. It's going to get to a point where they have to, right? So again, boarding houses, group homes, assisted living. These are all service businesses, whether you want to think of them that way or not. And it's going to be a big thing. Just being very honest. Anthony Russell, I met an Uber driver a couple of days ago, late 60s, owns a double wide on an acre and a half in Laurel Hills, North Carolina. Tennis destroyer place. His wife refuses to set foot on property. Let me tell you something. I'm being careful. There are a lot of spouses that are sabotaging their spouse. Period. Point blank. Period. Stop. This is very common. It's not uncommon. They write hundreds of books on it a year. It's a weird thing. But if you got an acre and a half, and I'm gonna be honest, if it's a raggedy trailer, tear that shit down and move it. There's companies that will move it for you. He can sell it for $5,000 and be on by his day, and they could put 2 or 3 new trailers out there. Anthony, that's just the truth. Like he could do other things. The most simple answer, people fight that. North Harris College, the population is going to only increase, but the amount of livable land will stay the same forever. No direction, but can go up. And this is the crazy part. And this is how you know people don't travel. And I'm not talking to you, I'm just saying in general. You start flying the country, most of the country is just green space and nowhere towns and little towns with 1,000 people in. We have 46 big metroplexes in America, and that's it. The rest are small little towns. That's why when I talk to people about homesteading, growing food, and working remote. Oh, I don't know if that'll work where I live. Honey, it'll work anywhere there's internet. It'll work anywhere you have to. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I see people homeless in the city, I'm like, baby, you could just keep walking. Not trying to be funny, but I am. You keep walking, there's a forest. That's just America. You walk long enough, there's a national park or a forest where you could live almost free. That sounds terrible, but I'm just going to say it like that and leave it alone. All right. So again, it's 240 people here. Hit the like button. And I'll try to wrap this up. My biggest thing I tell people is you have to decide in this process, right? When you hear things on the internet, do I know anybody in that field? Can I get to know anybody in that field? How can I go get one-on-one experience, right? What you are going to see this year, and I'm telling you this from experience, from masterminds, and from conversations on the phone directly with people. You're going to see a lot of people do tours this year, right? You're going to see Beyond Wind just did one in Cleveland. A couple people are doing one in Atlanta. There's building conferences in Florida, Atlanta. We're doing one, right? In Phoenix, Arizona this week. It's been sold out, but we're I might be doing one in Texas. I mean, just you don't know. If we don't know, don't tell nobody. All right. And the fact remains is people need to want to, one, see it in person, physically touch it, see it, explain it to me, talk to me like I'm a kindergartner, so that they can make a financial decision on it. I was talking to somebody, they're like, well, what's the course link? I was like, there is no course. You either show up and give 100% and then are committed, or you aren't. Right? Courses gave people this, well, I paid for the course. I kind of looked at it. I kind of did it. The pandemic, you had nothing but time. What were you doing? Nothing. A lot of people weren't doing nothing. That's why people jumped up and got married and jumped out and bought dogs and cats and moved in vans and ran away from home because they were basically doing nothing. Nothing with their time. So again, it's the decision. Are you going to improve yourself with time or not? It's just your choice. So let me see here. I'm an example. I bought 4 acres outside of Atlanta in a $19,000 house in Macon, Georgia. Divorced, and they both came in handy. Congratulations, D. Bailey. You can build on those acres right to this day. Subdivide and build on it right now. You could even put a couple tiny homes out there, make it an Airbnb, a little cool spot. All kind of stuff you can do. Macon, Georgia, I'm telling y'all, sit on them homes in Macon, Georgia, because they're going to run y'all up out of Atlanta. All you little water boys, all you people not going to go to work in about 5 years, they're going to figure out a way to get y'all out of Atlanta If you're not working in Atlanta in food, service, something, they're gonna figure out how do we get these people further out of Atlanta. They want Atlanta. They want Atlanta so bad to be a tech hub. And every time you hear Kathy Wood go, no, not Atlanta, Tampa, St. Pete. Every time you hear these actual companies go, not Atlanta, Austin, Texas, not Atlanta, Raleigh, North Carolina, not Atlanta, maybe Alpharetta, but it's coming, and it's only that pushback against Atlanta because let's just go there, right? Like it's a lot of crime going on. It's a lot of crime. It's a lot of the population that are struggling economically. But trust me, they're trying to figure out how to make that Georgia Tech, that tech corridor over there. They struggling. They figuring it out, and they're gonna have y'all living in Macon. I'm just gonna say it like that. If you have to decide between the two, then you're not ready for business. Just get a house is less risk, and you need to work more towards your business. Thank you, Lanny. I think I saw the question. Ericka, you're speaking of facts. Thanks. the Hoof GP guy has a larger garage than most people's houses. Yeah, people miss that. People miss that whole, like, he done made a knife company. He done made a glue company. These partnership deals, I don't think y'all understand. Some people are making $1 million a year off partnership deals where he's just showing the gun and showing the glue and showing the knife, right? So y'all gonna figure it out though. But yeah, so you're gonna see an increase in-person events, service business conversations, because there is a leftover group of people, I don't know how else to say it, that need to be focusing this year, honestly, on skills, or are they going to be an investor? Right? You could go to Cleveland and buy a 30K duplex and put another 30K in it to clean it up and then rent it out, and get maybe 1,900 a month for it, right? And you were all in 60, once it was 70, right? That could be good. So you're talking about a good 18K a year. That's good. 18K return is good. At this point in life, if I'm going to have to, I'm not digging in another wall. Like, I think y'all think I'm joking, but when it comes to Detroit and Cleveland, like, if I got to dig in walls, I got to rehab, I don't need to be that creative anymore. I've gone further down. Now I'm literally at the point where I'm on, hey, come over here, clean this house out of Detroit, throw all this trash away, cut the grass, because next week grass is going to start being crazy. And let's get this house sold and get rid of it and be on about our business. Truthfully, I don't have to be that creative anymore, because I did what? Increased my businesses, increased my finances, increase my credit, increase my lines of credit. Like, you can start having other options. And that's why I push it so hard, because I'm watching young guys, 19 to 21 years old, 25-year-old, 27, 26, literally no wife, no kids, just go in, buy. And now they look up and they're like, I got 18 properties. What should I do? I'm like, first, calm down, stabilize. Let's make sure up every property is in a good position. Let's make sure, there's no hiccups coming and wipe out your cash flow. But you got to be focused. And a lot of people out here have kids and a wife and a husband, and they trying to do little battles with you and ruin your torpedo your little cruise ship. And the kids over here needing time, needing this, needing that. And so what happens is, all these distractions, you look up 10 years later, now you're 10 years older and you didn't make any changes. So when you're watching channels like mine, I know you're wanting some change. If you're watching certain channels, I know you're thinking, okay, how can I help my mom? How can I help my sister? How can I help my brother? How can I get my family on board? And I'm going to tell you, the number way to get your family on board is keep going. This is the plan. This is what I'm doing. I'm going 180 miles an hour doing it. You either get on this damn train, shut your fucking mouth, or you don't. And that's literally, I'm running into people and I understand why they're like that now. Because trying to do all this, I'm trying to convince you. I'm trying to convince you. No, we ain't got time. Nobody has time. Somebody said Atlanta's too big for tech not to happen. It's already there. They're just trying to figure out how to get it down from Alpharetta into Atlanta, right? Atlanta is overrated. The highway system can't support the growth. Well, the reason Atlanta's overrated is because so many people move there with no skills. They're paying slave wages, Ericka. They're not paying slave wages to nurses. They're not paying slave wages to plumbers. They're not paying slave wages to roofers. Terry, the electrician, is making tons of money down there in Atlanta. You're only getting paid poorly in Atlanta if you have poor skills. We have a country full of people right now with no skills that are worth anything. They know how to look pretty on Instagram or talk some crazy shit on this YouTube, but that's not a skill. It could be if you turn it into a sales, but it's really not a skill. So you're in Atlanta, you're crying about being low pay, but your skills are low. Same thing in Houston. People are like, oh, they ain't paying no big money down here. Tell that to the oil rig guys. Tell that to the gas guys. Tell that to the doctors. Tell that to the nurses. Tell that to the traveling nurses that they keep pulling into Houston. Tell that to the people who are making money. Take your phone over to the community college and get a skill, a real one, not a communication degree, not an English degree, not a doctor in basket weaving, none of that. Something where you're going to make a skill, because this is what's going to happen. And a lot of these Kildro Beldross has talked about it. Alex Hormozy has talked about it. Several people talk about it. They're like, they're meeting a lot of men who are 35 to 50. They never perfected a skill. And now they just have to work. And so they're calling them, they're trying to book calls with them, and they're like, what's wrong? They're stuck. They've run out of time. They've run out of runway. They've run out of credit cards. They've run out of everything. So they have to work. And so I'm trying to help you not be at that point where you now just have to work 2-3 jobs because life choices have put you there. I'm just trying to help you cut that. You know what I mean? Somebody said Atlanta may have several Fortune 500 companies, but the gap between the rich and poor is stark there. Macon and Augusta are big hubs. Atlanta has free AC training, AC and heating training. All them little water boys, all them people trying to be your little rappers, listen, go get that free AC training. Start making $80 an hour fixing people's ACs. You ain't even got to work full time. Like, get real. You know what I'm saying? Tech is happening in Atlanta. Austin highway system can't support the growth, but grew away. Man, we got a freaking highway that goes from Mexico to Canada through our city. We still have to build around it. We're like, well, just got to build around it. Condra said, roll or get rolled on. You already know what time it is. Yeah, the folks I know are engineers in Atlanta. People don't want to get skills. Yeah, there was a black couple that came on, husband and wife. They both were making 120 a year, and the comments were crazy. The comments were like, that's not enough. They're not getting really paid. Oh, that's underpaid. Atlanta don't pay people. I said, listen, this black couple is out in public. They might both make 150 a year, 170, 180, but they can't say it. They in a public place. A little influencer is in their face with a microphone, and they with their baby. They might not want to get robbed. So they may not make 120. They may make 180, but they can't say it on camera. But people were roasting them and they, oh, that's too low. The company's underpaying them. And the wife even said on camera, when I found out how much my husband made, he said, baby, it's easy. Let me just help you get trained. Then she got on. So now you got a husband and wife both making 120. Now you're talking about 240. Talking about they got a baby. They probably got a house. They probably got some tax write-offs. They got a cousin asking for some money. You know what I'm saying? like, and they might have been worried. Like, family members might watch this if we tell them how much we really make. You know what I'm saying? So there's people out here, if you're willing to what? Sacrifice and get the skill. Why did I go and try to get these certs this past year and a half? Just because I wanted to see how difficult is these certs. Because y'all acting like they're so difficult, Ericka. So let me just see. I'm a busy person, but let me see an hour a day. What can I do? And I live in Austin. It's like a stone's throw everywhere. And so I want people to understand, like, skills matter. So, there aren't many tech jobs in Macon. They're begging the base to stay open. Ooh, yes. Yes. Overrated is the default for people who don't receive all they expected. Yikes. I don't know what the rich or poor difference is in Atlanta. Delta pays 60 to 100 an hour. Microsoft there. CDC there. Stop cap on Atlanta. Get to work. Tam is hilarious. Tam is hilarious. Tamika is hilarious, y'all. If you haven't got to hear her hilariousness, please read her comments. But yeah, all right, you guys, I gotta go. I gotta get ready to get on a plane. Oh Lord, I gotta fly. Text the number ready. Text the number 512-348-2192. Text ready if you need credit help or you know somebody needs credit help. If your credit's under 650, it's got blemishes, it's got stuff going on. You can do it. You can do it. We can fix it. 45, 60 days, 90 days. I'm working very hard with partnerships on this channel to get discounts. And how do I get better discounts from this channel is if I bring people in bulk. Instead of y'all sending me hundreds of emails all year long about credit and who do I know and who can I recommend, I'm gonna just do it all at one good time. And that's an actual phone number, so don't dial it. I mean, don't call, because we're gonna be like, who this? But that's my consulting call line. But text ready if you need the credit help, and then text trade lines if you're like, no, Ericka, I'm over 650. I just don't know why I'm not getting over the hump. I don't know what's going on with my credit. Why can't I get the boost I need to get me 720, 750? Because the easy level is credit cards, right? That's the easy level. The next level, really, what I want you to kind of get your mind wrapped on, and that's why I teach it in the funding courses, go into them little banks and getting them lines of credit, working capital loans, and personal loans. Careful on the personal loans, but I understand when people have to get them just so they can get their foot in the door. But I'm telling you, I'm telling you, like, they're giving out 20 to 40K and 50K at these smaller community banks. I mean, we went to a big bank for this deal, and they were like, look, go to the community bank. They couldn't say the name down the street, but they doing the winking. They looking out the window. They like, this one over here. This is a recorded line. Like, they had the phones on record, so they couldn't say what they wanted to say out loud. They're like, Ericka, over here, we'll give you this amount. I was like, okay, cool. Thanks for the little tip. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I share it inside the classes, because I can't say everything public that I want to say. But if you've got a couple things here, if you got the great credit, hey, they willing to figure out some products and services they can give to you, right? If you got the income and the years of income caking up, they're like, oh, we're going to find a program to work with you. I remember being at Comerica, and the lady said, oh, I got turned out for the business credit card. And I was like, I'm about to close my account. She's like, no, let us take the $3,000 out of your savings account. We'll make you a credit card. We'll make you a credit card. I looked at her and said, a business credit card? She said, yes, we will make you a business credit card. I said, do y'all have secure business credit cards? Because I was getting ready to come tell y'all. She's like, no. But for you, Miss Williams, we will make you a credit card. And I was like, so y'all make business credit cards? Yes. Let me get it written up. I'm going to call my manager. Hold on. I'm going to call the lending department. We're going to get it written up. You got to have that confidence. You got to have that knowledge. You got to be willing to go in the bank and say, hey, if y'all not going to lend to me, I'm going to close this account because I can go get money at other banks. That's why we put the funding course together. That's why we're doing all these partnerships, because I'm seeing the power of conversation. So anyways, let me read these last comments and I'm going to get on out of here. Brandy said, it's too easy to make money in Atlanta. You have to have work ethic and a plan. People are lazy. Brandy, I'm telling you, I know. Listen, Brandy out here done bought a whole rental. At the rental, on her Instagram, she got stuff in her hair from digging and cleaning out the rental. She got a dumpster in front of the house, and people like, is she really got a rental? Baby, while you sitting here on the internet guessing and doing 7-hour hangouts, people like Brandy are going on about their life. They got a business, they buy rentals, they in a thriving city. Good luck. Keep it moving, right? Like, enjoy your life. Congrats, Brandy. Sam's Clutch, from my time in Atlanta, the only thing that turns me off is the segregation. And the weirdness from non-blacks due to the riffraff. If Atlanta had Vegas, Seattle, San Diego level integration, I would consider a move. And I dare say Midtown has that. I would dare say at some point it's going to have it. I joke about Denver, Colorado is the Atlanta for white people, right? You know what I'm saying? Austin, Texas is the Atlanta for white people. Your city is better when there is a push for more diversity, right? Like, it just is. Like, I was in Scottsdale, Arizona. I was like, oh, it's nice, but there's a lot of old people here. I don't know. I kept going around like, the restaurants are great. It's the lack of diversity. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went to a gym, Planet Fitness, and it was 8 tanning beds. And I said, don't y'all learn y'all lesson from all this tanning? Why y'all burning up still? We in Scottsdale. Do you need a tanning bed? Can you just stand outside? So, there's just something where I try to like Atlanta, but the vibe is weird there. They got a lot of warlocks and witches out there. Saying, y'all know how I feel about Atlanta. I mean, it's good money, but it's just we'll leave that alone. I'm gonna stop talking about that. Baltimore gives city residents free tech training. And that's the problem. If they can barely read, And this is documented. It's not me being a-hole. If they can barely read, we gotta first get them up to snuff on the reading. You know what I'm saying? Like it's by design that some of these city schools, like they sued the schools in Detroit. They went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said these teachers don't have to teach your child how to read. That's not on their curriculum. Your child should know how to read before they get to school. Y'all, do you understand what the government is telling you? This not my job. That's your kid. But if you mess up, I'm gonna come take them. But again, that's your kid. Please do community college and stay away from course careers. Oh, Simply Gene, I don't know about that, but I'll go look it up. I'm currently working with the mayor of Macon in a sheriff department. The city has properties for $25K all day. Come here now while you can. So D Bailey, if you haven't been in my tax lien course, we actually have students in the tax lien course who went to Macon and brought the properties at the tax auction for $2K and then turned around and sold them the lots for $30K. So, if you're in the tax lien course, the testimonials speak for themselves. If you're in the tax lien course, October, November, December is the biggest time to win, because while everybody else is thinking about Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're buying tax liens. So if you are any of the Macon students, there's a woman that does a tour, takes people down to Macon all the time. She making money, lots of money, taking them down there to buy stuff. So again, yeah, you could literally buy vacant lots and make it for $2K. Turn around and sell them to people like me who just want to build a house. I don't got time to always chase down the tax liens. Pay you $30K for the land lot, because now, I don't want to give away too much, but when I go to the bank and I say, hey, I bought this tax lien for $2K and I'm going to build a property on it for $150. Well, the loan value is, the property's only $2K. Well, I'm only going to value it at $2K. But if I turn around and come to you and I buy the land lot from you who bought it for tax lien for $30K, I go to the bank, hey man, I just bought this land lot for $30K. Oh, you did? Well, let's add that $30,000 in value to the $150 it's going to cost you to build the house. So now you're at $180, and now I'm going to give you 80% of the construction, 80% of the loan to value on that. I hope I didn't lose y'all on that little talk right there. I may have, but long story short, there's a reason builders try to buy lots, and they don't always try to get it the cheapest. It's a numbers game, but that's another conversation. So partnerships with people that teach skills is that, listen, listen, the biggest things about the apartment syndication groups, you'll go in there and I'm telling you, they literally will separate the groups by income. They'll go, who in here makes $150K a year to $250K a year? People raise their hands. They say, y'all go over here in this group. How many over here make this much? Go over here. Because your conversations are different. You can have all the dreams, aspirations, dress nice, do all this stuff, but if you're making $40K as a teacher, your conversations are going to be about, I can't afford it, or I can't go over there, or I saved all this money, or I inherited this money, and I invested it with this apartment syndication group, and I'm excited. But your conversation with old boy over here who's making $150,000 to $250,000 is different. He's talking about taxes and cost segregation and how we got to do this and how we can find out ways to get around certain things. You know what I'm saying? Different conversation. San Jose, Seattle integrated. I mean, Tacoma versus Bellevue versus Buffalo is still segregated. Oh yeah, we were out there and I was like, this is Asian, Asian and Native American. And then we got to Tacoma and I was like, okay, there's a few more to college, I guess. But yeah, it was out there. Banks will definitely make you products when they see your numbers are right. You'd be surprised what they offer you if your paper is right. Yes, Cosmic Wisdom. I was sitting there at Comerica. I was like, girl, you my best friend. What's up, Chime Time? New member. What's up? Nationwide, on average, 79% of Americans are literate in the United States. 2022, 20% of adults in the United States are illiterate. So yes, Tam, that's nationwide, but cities like Detroit, Cleveland, Chicago, and Baltimore have like 48% illiteracy rates, right? So, Florida, shit, I don't know, Florida probably have to change, but there's, again, if I put a test in front of you and you're a child, you're not prepared, whose fault is that, So 54% of adults have a literacy below 6th grade level. 21% of Americans have an 18 and older are illiterate. So here's the crazy part, Tim. They teach in some of the YouTube stuff I've been in masterminds how to speak to people on a middle school level. I'm not even being funny. Like, they actually teach that stuff. We had a friend write a book and he purposely wrote it like a little kid. Like people left terrible comments like, oh, this sounds like an 8-year-old wrote it. This sounds like, and then there's thousands of comments, people like, this is a great book. So you gotta know your audience. If you're speaking to a small 20% audience, you need to be knowledgeable, you need to show numbers, you need to show stats, you need to be like, boom. If you speaking to people who are in general can get it and then move forward, you gotta dumb it down. Unfortunately, that's what's going on. Big Bandit too. I live in Midtown. Yeah, when I was out there in Midtown, I was like, every year and every couple months I'd be in Midtown, like, this thing right here is just, they gonna change it all up and get y'all out of here. So Charm Time said, I left Detroit, came to the A. Growth is here, but you have to work for want it. Very true. Most of the people I meet that left Detroit, they have skills, they're in tech, or they do brick masonry work, they doing construction, they doing whatever. Right. Okay. So Tam said, meaning they need more than data centers, the base, and building homes. I know about solar panel farms. What else does Macon have to offer? Worked there for you. Oh, okay. Got you. Got you. If you want to move to Atlanta, go there with a stack of backup money and a plan. Make your money and leave when you're done. If you need to, don't go to Atlanta based on hype. This is true. If you write at a 5th grade level, you're guaranteed to hit your. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So look, there's 245 people here. The best thing you do for me is hit the like button. Again, text ready or trade lines at 512-348-2192. Again, I'm trying to get them to move it to Friday, but it may be the first. Friday I will be at the event, but they, I already I said, come on, give me this a good deal, man. Give them a discount. So we're gonna see how this works. And hopefully all you guys can start getting the credit repair, the credit scores, the stuff that you need to move forward. Because I get on a lot of phone calls and I realize you're just short 10, 20K. I had a friend here who wanted to start a little studio, and he's like, I just need 20K. And I was like, apply for a card. Let's go to a bank. like I almost wanted to do it for him, but you gotta let people live and learn, right? So again, there's people here with little studios and renting out parts of the studio on Peerspace and making it work. So you have to figure out your dream and what you're trying to do. P. Davis said, explaining things to people like they're 5 years old. I used to do IT consulting with tech staff. Simplified speech overcomes regional speech variation. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka, Classic Line Blog. I gotta go plan to go catch and a shower to go get. This is your girl. Later.